What is one thing that can make your life more successful, less stressful, and most of all, reduce the number of times you feel like crying inside a day? My name is Paul Dr. Nacho Goodman, and this is an episode of Talking Nachos, where we bring to you so many topics, awesome key resources, sponsors to help you succeed more, stress less, and be a happier dentisting human. So you're going to see so many people on the show today that you can learn from. I encourage you to just JFO, just find out about what these awesome people do. Just do the demo. You'll be glad you did. There's so many great things that you can learn, things we don't learn in dental school. Dentistry is most definitely a long marathon. It can be awesome, but also annoying. So you want to prepare yourself with awesome tools. So I'm ready for my first awesome guest when my team is ready to bring them up. So I have the amazing Jamie Amos. Jamie Amos and I go way back to the beginning of this entire thing. He does so many things to make dentists happier. But Jamie, I want you to share with us, where are you right now to make all of us in Philly jealous? Where are you on planet Earth?
I'm somewhere nice and warm. It is definitely not going to go below 40 degrees or 50 degrees. Probably won't even go below 80 degrees. I'm in Puerto Rico today. And
so we're jealous. It just goes from 75 to 83 all the time. Is that it?
On really cold days, we might drop down to like 74. So we'll see if I have to put a sweater on tonight. We'll see.
So we're all officially jealous. But what I really like to do is bring awareness to all the awesome people in our dentisting neighborhood. So if you would just take a minute and just share with us this, what do you do in your daily dental life to help dentists?
All we do is startups. So we make it pretty simple. A lot of people are very good at lots of things. I'm good at one thing in dentistry. It's startups. We've opened, the president of our company, for example, his name is Steven. He's opened over 850 startups now, but who's counting, right? I mean, that's a lot of startups. So what we like to do is take the guesswork out of startups, make it easy for associate dentists to say, you know, I want to own a practice. I've been looking at practices to buy, and I'm just not liking what I'm seeing, or maybe I don't like the culture that I've seen inside a few of these practices. I want to do it my own, but this startup thing seems too risky, seems too crazy, seems too expensive. So Paul, you and I, thank you for having me here, by the way. Being able to have this nachos discussion live and share these exciting things with people, just being helpful to the associate dentists out there, the people I like to serve. Being helpful to associate dentists is what I love through startups. That's all we do.
And one of the things, Jamie, I've learned from you, you're an amazing speaker, is you're a one thing person too. So, you know, I know we have featured your awesome location book, which we'll get to in a minute, but, you know, we could talk about a couple one things, but is there any maybe myths or things people are, you know, you're out there, you're an associate, we sell practices, buying practices that are existing are good too, but startups are another option on this plate. We get asked about it all the time. So is there any one things that you would like to bring to light for our audience today?
Yeah, I have a real easy, simple thing to address. So I'll speak right to the baby age dentists, all the BADs, all the bads out there, right? This is just for you guys and gals. And Paul, you know many of the doctors who have gone through our consulting program. So whether or not you work with Ideal Practices, I want to share 3 simple myths with you that can help make the startup topic seem more approachable so you can at least research it. And I would say that a lot of times a startup is almost like going to Disney World. I was really lucky to be able to take my family there just a few weeks ago. And my son, who's 11, it was like the big dream come true of his life. And he planned it all out. He talked to as many people as he could. He charted out the path on the sidewalk that we would sprint down. He was dreaming of all this. He charted the path out. He kind of like reverse engineered how to wake up early at Disney World months ahead of time to get to the Star Wars land, right? So wouldn't you know, our first day in Disney, we wake up early. I get my coffee, just like Mason's plan said. We wake up at the right time. He drags the rest of the family. We get to the gate, and it was like, I don't know, 7:30 in the morning, and I'm sprinting through Disney World with my son and a cup of coffee that's splashing, and there's so much motivation and fun and excitement. It was like his dream come true. It was fun seeing my little son see it come true for him. So I think a startup is a little like that. Like you dream of it for years, maybe even sometimes since childhood. And the experiences that go best, in my opinion, are like my son's, where you pre-plan. I'm sure you can just buy a ticket into Disney World and get started and just look around. That's okay. Some startups just try to buy a ticket and look around. And I tell you, sometimes those associate dentists who just buy a ticket and look around in the startup world, like they open with advice that they found in some, podcast. That's fine. but a lot of them struggle for years.
I want to interject, Jamie.
Sometimes they don't even make a paycheck to take home for 4 or 5 years. So anyway,
let me real quick. Disneyland, though, Jamie. I want to say one thing just for our audience is, while your son got you to Star Wars Land, if you don't have a plan in Disney World, you just wander around. There's nothing bad. If you don't have a plan in Startup Land, you may go out of business land sooner than you think. So I want to kick it back to you, but I just want to share that this is a serious thing, startups. It's an enormous decision for your livelihood, your life, your family. And while I encourage and admire dentists following their dreams, they want to do it in a way that's practical and success-based. And I know that's what you guys do. So I'll kick it back to you for your tips there.
I'll give a couple easy tips, maybe like 1 minute per tip or less, just to make it simple, just to stimulate some ideas. If you want, you can text the number, that startup name. You can text startup to the phone number at the bottom. But here are 3 simple things right behind me. Ready? If you want to be like my son and reverse engineer your trip through Startup Land, here we go. Number 1. So there's top 3 questions in startups. Number 1 is, how do I do it? Like, how the heck do I put this thing together? So I'll share with you a quick, easy graph that you can use. Number 2, people ask, where the heck should I go? Where's the right place? Where's the right amount of competition? Where should I open? Real estate related. And number 3 is how much. So the Nacho community has been nice enough to help us share great resources, all free that you can access on each of these topics. This one is a graph that if you text the word startup to the number below, I'll happily, through Paul and his team, share a really cool, I wonder if I can share this screen. Am I allowed to do that, Paul?
It's not as easy as Zoom here. We probably should just text the graphics back to them for the sake of this, but in a future I'll do that.
There you go. Okay.
Hard to share here.
Okay. Well, there's that slide. I don't know if you can see it, but are you able to see me now again?
Unless you turn your camera to it, it might be tough to see. Okay. I'll give you a sharing screen on StreamYard tutorial later, but we'll be glad to text that graphic back to us.
There's a 1-year timeline and checklist. So if you're wondering how to put all the pieces together, this is based on 850 startups.
Cool.
There's a timeline with checklists that Paul and his team can send to you, totally free, no catch. Just use it and track yourself along with a startup so you can study how the process works. Secondly, where? Number 2, where the heck do you go? How do you know where to open? The demographics topic, the real estate topic. This book, I wrote it a couple of years ago. It's a #1 bestseller on Amazon. Paul and his team have helped underwrite the cost of this so that this book, it sells for $67 on Amazon. But Paul and his team are allowing us to do this for $1.99.
Awesome.
They'll give you a physical copy. Just go to idealpractices.com/nacho if you want to learn all this knowledge over hundreds of startups to find the right location. So check out this book, get yourself a $1.99 copy instead of $67 on Amazon. Then the last question is how much? So number 3, how much does a startup cost? I won't go into all the numbers here, but I'll make it simple and say with just 6 crowns per month. So if you can produce 6 crowns per month, we broke down all the math. So it's spelled out in very specific categories, almost like a business plan. So it's 6 crowns per month. If you can produce that, and I bet you can, if you can, then you can afford a startup. The complicated piece is assembling all the numbers the right way. So text startup to the number there, and we'll load you up with resources.
Awesome,
if you want to learn how to do this. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to serve a community like this. Thanks.
Time for one more minute, James. I want to bring this up. Well, first, the way you should present this to our dental audience, and I would like to, is you're really giving the treatment plan for success. Dentists work with treatment plans for their patients. You're providing this treatment plan with the cost, the location. I think location is key because many times dentist humans have spouses, they have families, so they have to also figure out, are they going to want to be with them where they're going to start up. But tell us this, we've had amazing Nachoers work with your program. One, Dr. Ashley Dawson, who I just interviewed, just started up. Just for a minute, what is the mindset of a dentist who wants to start up? If someone's watching this thinking, I don't know if it's for me, or is it too risky? And I know it's kind of a grayish question, but what's the mindset of a dentist looking to do a startup?
I'd say the biggest difference is a contrast between 2 words. So if you're an associate dentist and you're wondering, could I, should I, can I do a startup? Is it too risky? There's 2 words that I would implore you to begin pressing through. There's a difference between the words what and how. So what versus how. I would strongly, please, I recommend to you, don't spend all your time trying to figure out how to do it. Instead, I want you to be thinking through, what do you really want?
Right.
And when I say what, I'll give you 3 easy questions to ask yourself to start this internal dialogue. What do you want to be known for? in your community where you're going to serve, meaning like a reputation. What do you want to be known for? But the next question is, what do you want to create long-term, like a legacy through your startup? Your startup will help you create that. So what do you want to be known for? What kind of legacy do you desire? And then what do you want to give back to the community where you serve?
Those what's are so good. And I like them because they're digestible, a little different than why. So Jamie, thanks for being you. Appreciate it. We'll have you back on more shows. Really appreciate everything you do for us.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for having me being here. I'll see you around next time when I have my words right.
Enjoy that 75-degree weather. So we won't think about you when it drops down tomorrow. So as you guys can see on Talking Nachos, we bring you amazing value, demystify some of the things people talk about all the time.